Kenya Open Data Initiative (KODI) was launched in 2011 to open up government information previously inaccessible to Kenyans.
The Kenya Open Data Initiative is a project that was launched in 2011, and the whole idea here was to try and open up information, government information mostly, that would help people in decision making and in doing things that were data-based. So we're looking at software developers and private companies that wanted to use information to better their products or services. We're looking at government institutions that needed to do a lot of planning using information. We're looking at civil society organizations that also use information and data really for planning and delivering services to marginalized communities. So the idea behind the Kenya Open Data Initiative was to try and get as much government information as possible out there to try and help and to try and open up the government really for people to have more access to information. Yeah.
KODI gathers data from government agencies and provides it a digital format that is user-friendly. Since its inception, Kenya Open Data Initiative has pushed boundaries and changed the data accessibility ecosystem. Database businesses have opened up, thus boosting the socio-economic status of many.
Code for Africa gives citizens actionable information. And what does this mean? Being able to use data to actually give insight into some of the things that keeps people awake or citizens awake at night is part of the growing things that we do. We build, at Code for Africa, we build infrastructure that can be used by citizens, by journalists, to give insight into data that was earlier locked in sort of people who can use it, or either data analysts or within governments or within, troves of places where are inaccessible.
Students' lives have also been transformed by KODI, creating a platform to access information that has enabled them to thrive academically.
I'm using data from Kenya Open Data Initiative for my thesis. My thesis is on semantic web. Semantic web is interlinking data from different sources so that when you're doing one search on an item, you're able to get all the information about that item. Kenya Open Data Initiative has so many opportunities. One for all. For example, students who are doing their research may be able to download the data from the online instead of going about collecting the data, and that eases their work.
KODI has also been instrumental in empowering communities, enabling them to make better informed decisions.
A good example is dodgy doctors. Dodgy doctors is, everybody knows we've got quacks out there, and there are many of them. How do you define who is your doctor? How do you actually authenticate that the person who's saying he or she is a doctor is really a doctor? The register of doctors is with the government. Taking that information that was available, that data, the register, breaking it down and making it creating a tool such that from a simple phone you can just send an SMS and you get a confirmation that yes, Catherine Gisheru is a real doctor, she's registered. Brings peace of mind to you as a person who's seeking help from the doctor.
The journey to provide free access to information has, however, not been a walk in the park.
At first, people did not understand what this was. You're talking about opening up government information, and the first question is, are you pulling a Snowden on everyone? Are you trying to, open up the government to attacks, to people prying and, but then we had to get to a point where we had to define what should be opened, what should be protected, what is private and all that. So we came from a kind of environment where people did not really understand what open data is, and when people don't understand, their first reaction is to reject you.
Some of that data which is available is not easily consumable. How do you get a Wanjiko to interact with that data? It means then therefore we are working with techies to try and see how we can bring that information down to the level of the citizen, in this case Wanjiko.
Indeed, Kenya Open Data Initiative has transformed the Kenyan society positively, but most importantly, KODI has enabled Kenyans to enjoy the constitutional right of free access to information.
We have had very many successes with the project. I mean, the project has been running, this is the 6th year, and we have seen things from, the access to information, laws being signed into the bill being signed into law a few weeks ago. We have a lot of data journalism happening now. You see a lot of, journalists are using information and referring to, government information when it comes to the work that they do. But for me, the biggest success of all is that now Kenyan citizens have access to government information for free on one single portal, opendata.go.ke, without the need to write letters or to, wait many days before they have access to this information. Now all you have to do is go to the URL and you have access to a lot of information for free at your fingertips.
With Kenya Open Data Initiative, the possibilities are endless.